I don't think Drew Brees, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, but I don't think he's anywhere to his first ballot, second ballot. He might be second ballot. I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Next Show. We would like to apologize for not being obviously active with the YouTube channel, but guys, we are coming back and we will be uploading videos. So be sure to stay tuned. We are kids in high school, so we do still have schoolwork. So yeah, there's that. But before we get to the video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tap the bell. The topic for today's video is about how Marcus Delizzo and obviously our guest Atlanta Will feels about Drew Brees. Welcome to the show, Atlanta Will.
What's up?
Also, they will be talking about how they think the Saints will be affected without him next year. Guys, before we get to the video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tap the bell. I'll start with asking Delizzo how he feels about everything. Just go ahead, tell me your opinion on how you feel about Drew Brees and how he is as a player and how his retirement will affect the Saints.
Thank you. Now, Drew Brees, not even in my opinion. This should be the general opinion. Surefire Hall of Famer right there. First ballot Hall of Famer right there. Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer, regardless of what anyone said. Drew Brees was known as an accuracy guy, and they said he's a guy who can only throw short. But his accuracy makes up for his weaknesses. Now, I'm not saying he throws the best deep ball I've ever seen, but early in his career, he could throw the deep ball. He could throw long. Drew Brees was he was an average deep ball thrower, maybe below average, but he could still throw the deep ball. So let's not act like he can't throw. Drew Brees is still a Hall of Famer. Everybody wants to knock him for winning one ring, but championships are a team sport. Now, Drew Brees we've seen him get cheated in past playoff appearances, but Drew Brees has sold sometimes too. It's not always the ref's fault. It has been his fault, like we saw against the Vikings and against the Buccaneers. It has been his fault. But over the years, Drew Brees' arm talent has diminished and gone down, so he hasn't been able to throw as well as he was early in his career. But Drew Brees is still a Hall of Famer regardless, one ring or not. Now listen to this. This move was expected, but if I'm a Saints fan, I'm happy. Drew Brees restructured his contract, retired, helped us as everyone knows. Saints were way over the cap. Drew Brees restructured his contract, retired. Saints saved some money by that. Drew Brees' arm strength, the regression was noticeable. It's not like something we can ignore. He went down from 2019 to 2020. He went down in every major category. He had a drop off. The Saints were way over the cap. And now I believe Jameis Winston, he's coming. He's coming. Don't sleep on the Saints. Jameis Winston sat in the offense for 1 year, sat behind Drew Brees, learned from Sean Payton. Watch out. Jameis cuts down on the turnover, which I believe he will. Saints will be competitive. They will be a hard out. Saints will be just fine without Drew Brees.
Atlanta Will, give me your opinion. How do you feel about everything?
Kind of just to top off his point there about Jameis, a lot of people are going to be surprised. I kind of agree with him. I think Jameis was the best option last year for the Saints. You could argue even Taysom Hill was. I mean, Jameis wasn't the starter last season when Drew Brees went down. It was Taysom. But, I mean, to be honest with you, you're better off with Jameis. But to get back on the point of Drew Brees, obviously his arm talent diminished and he completely fell off. And his accuracy has always really been there, even like last season. But to be fair, you can ask any Saints fan, they're better off without him. But he is a Hall of Famer in my career, or in my opinion, in his career. But to say he's like a top 5 is kind of a hot take that I've pointed out on my TikTok. And
we obviously had some technical difficulties there for a moment, but Atlanta, I know you were in the middle of a statement. You can go ahead and finish what you were saying and wrapping up your thought.
Okay, so just kind of pick up where I was. A lot of people wouldn't agree with the statement, but I really don't think that Drew Brees is a top 5 quarterback of all time. And it's really not that big of a hot take if you think about it. I mean, he only won 1 Super Bowl, and he does lead every statistical category for a quarterback, just about, other than like one. I think the other one is owned by Tom Brady, which is a legend himself. But and it's not really his fault. It just has to do with the team around him and the playoff failures. And it's not his fault at all. Like I mentioned, it's just a freak miracle play that happened in Minnesota and obviously the referees against the Rams. But to be fair, there was that overtime interception that he threw against the Rams
Yeah,
in the NFC Championship.
he did sell that game before it happened, before the play happened.
Yeah, that's true. But not to knock on him, I will say he is a Hall of Fame quarterback, just not top 5 in my book.
But do you think the Saints are better off Super Bowl contenders with Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill or with Drew Brees? Which one do you think gives them a better chance of winning a Super Bowl?
Okay, so last season I would have said Jameis Winston would have been a better option than Drew Brees.
All right, so I'm going to preface this right now. I'm not hating. I am not about to hate. Whatever I'm about to say comes from no hate, no bias. I'm a Falcons fan, obviously. No bias. Again, over the past few years, I've been a Falcons fan. Ever since Drew Brees came into New Orleans, the Saints are 19-9 versus the Falcons. 19-9.
They smack y'all off every year.
Ew. But look, 2014, 2017, we swept them. So we're chilling. Ever since Drew Brees came into the league, he's been a talent. This first year in San Diego, he threw for over 3,000 yards. He was top 10 in completed passes. Again, as a second-year player, that was his first year starting. Again, he did throw a lot of interceptions his first year, throwing 16, which was also top 10. But he took a 5-11 team to 8-8. So again, Drew Brees came into this league being an instant talent, showing that he could be a top-tier quarterback in the league. Again, Drew Brees also took them to the wild card where they lost against the Jets, and that's the same year he got traded because of injuries. Drew Brees, when I think of Drew Brees, he's a fighter. Every time I watch the Falcons Saints game, it's always a fight. It's always a dog fight. You never know what's gonna happen. But I'm gonna say this right now. I don't think Drew Brees, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, but I don't think he's anywhere to his first ballot, second ballot. He might be second ballot. I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Again, although
hold on.
I will disagree with that. I'm going to disagree with that.
You just said Drew Brees not a first ballot Hall of Famer?
He's a first ballot.
You just said he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes. Can I finish? All right, so I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Well, let's look at MVPs. Drew Brees never won an MVP. And in that season where he won the Super Bowl, his defense was amazing. And although Drew Brees did contribute, and he did win Super Bowl MVP, you have to give credit to the defense. So again, from a fan perspective, I'm taking consideration of everything. Again, like you said, Drew Brees was never a really deep ball thrower. So with the accuracy, saying all the completed passes, you have to take into consideration that all those passes were 5 yards, 10 yards, taking up the field, no bombs. So all those. Hold on.
Hang on. Let's let Marcus finish his statement, please.
His completions are going to be inflated a little bit. Agree?
No, disagree. Stop.
What are you talking? What do you mean disagree? All right, bro. His completions are not going to be inflated because of the short passes.
Drew Brees leads the league in career passing yards. In career passing yards. He's not getting that from obviously little 5-yard touchdowns every time. Little 5-yard pass every time. Drew Brees is top 5 in completion percentage. Drew Brees is top 5 in yards per catch. Drew Brees is top 5 career-wise in yards per catch. Stop it. Drew Brees is not just a little slant thrower. Drew Brees, that is his bread and butter, but Drew Brees can throw other things than that slant. Stop it. Don't disrespect him. That's a first ballot Hall of Famer right there.
Your opinion. Again,
no.
When I think about this year, coming in this next year, I think the Saints will be I think the Saints will be second in our division though. I think Jameis is a great quarterback to come behind Drew Brees, sitting behind him a year. And I think they still have a top tier defense. Although I will be a little intrigued to see how the receiving core goes, seeing they just lost Emmanuel Sanders, which picked up the slack of Michael Thomas when he wasn't there. But again, I can't wait to see the season. I think the Saints will be a decent team, a playoff team, but I don't think they'll be doing anything spectacular this year, especially with Sean Payton, this being the first year with him with a new quarterback other than Drew Brees.
Hold on. Before we close. You said if I'm correct, Drew Brees second year in San Diego threw 16 picks, top 5 in the league.
Top 10 in the league through 16.
Top 10 in the league in interception thrown.
Yeah.
Last year, Jameis was a starter, 30 picks. Drew Brees.
I'm not comparing James Winston to Drew Brees.
No. Hold on. When Drew Brees came to the Saints, Sean Payton had him under control. He was throwing less picks.
Mm-hmm.
Jameis come to the Saints, Saturday year, watch, throw less picks. Ball security under control. Jameis gonna be tough. Jameis gonna be nasty. Saints gonna be nasty. Good playoff team.
I wouldn't say they're a playoff team. I wouldn't say that.
So wait.
They're around 8-8, or technically it would be 8-9 because of the added game during the season because they're playing on a 17-game season. But I'll say they're about 8-9, 9-8. Maybe sneak in at a wild card, but they're not going to be as good. They've lost too many key players over this past few weeks actually.
Cam Jordan's still there. Michael Thomas still there. Jameis coming. Kamara. That defense is still there. They did lose a D tackle.
And
but that defense is still there. Saints can draft well. 10-7 right there.
I'd like to make a point. We said the same thing about the Falcons just a few years ago. Julio's still there. Devontae's still there. Matt Ryan's still there. I mean, Deion Jones is still there. You know, just because you have key people doesn't mean you're good. At the time we had key players. The Saints have lost a lot of key players. I mean, players like Trey Henderson, Quan Alexander, Janoris Jenkins, just to name a few.
I mean, Matt Ryan has fallen off a little cliff, if I don't say so myself.
Matt Ryan wasn't.
But that's off topic.
That's not the topic.
That's off topic. Saints will be 10-7 next year, sneaking as a wild card, or they'll just miss it. But they will finish the season 10-7.
All right, Kaylee, give your opinion. Close the video.
I definitely think that Drew Brees will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but that's just my opinion. And I would arguably say that he's the most accurate quarterback in NFL history. But that's arguably, I feel like some of you guys would disagree with that, but that's an arguable statement. But before we close the video, I would like to say that Atlanta Will's socials will be in the description box down below, so don't forget to click those socials and check him out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and tap the bell. And Atlanta Will, thank you for joining the show today.
Thank y'all.
See you guys later.